Here I am once again.
Hey, watch out for trademarks.
Oh, yeah.
And copyright.
Here we are.
That's
What's...
better.
Just kidding. Okay, really quick. I was just rocking Harper to sleep. And she woke up because she had a stomach ache. And let me tell you, she's definitely my kid. She's stinky.
I got what you meant.
To say. Anywho. Okay, so I forgot to mention this in episode 1, and I was so excited. So episode 1 was aired on September 22nd. And do you know what is significant about September 22nd, 2022 specifically?
No.
Take a wild guess.
It's not an anniversary.
Nope. Let me preface this by saying I am as basic as they come.
Was it the night Alpha was conceived?
No. I would not share that live. At least I don't think it was. No, it's the first day of fall.
Oh.
And you can bet your bottom that my basic white girl planned that months ago.
I mean, I was close, but just kidding.
This is supposed to be like a PG podcast,
It is
dude.
PG. I didn't say anything. No, but Kourtney has had things decorated in the house since, what was it, the 1st, the 2nd?
Of September?
Of September.
Yeah. It's spooky season.
But she won't let me put up any Halloween decorations yet, so.
Yeah. There's a skull right there.
Okay, but like outside. I guess
Okay,
we
but
still
that's
get the
because
sprinklers and everything.
that's because we still have our sprinklers on because it's still technically, it's not summer anymore, but it's still like 80 degrees
It's a
outside.
weird intermittent stage.
Well, yeah, we're in
between
that
the two.
stage where people post on Facebook about having to remove their sweaters halfway through the day.
Oh yeah.
It's a very real thing, but it's also a very, very real Facebook post.
Yes, I believe that.
Okay. So welcome back to our podcast of Fam Damily. I feel like we should have some like little so like Justin Bieber's fans are the Beliebers, and then you're staring at me and you're making me. I feel like we need to have like a little nickname for our one subscriber. Just kidding.
Who's me?
They
we
are
have to.
our Fam Damily. That's our podcast name. They're our damn fam.
No, we didn't have those.
I don't know.
I don't know. Brainstorm. That'd be a good idea.
Okay, we'll think about it.
Cool.
All right, do you want to tell me a story?
Yeah. Apparently, Beliebers is already taken. So.
Dang it.
All right. Did you ever figure out what I was writing about? Like, did you see my notes?
No, but Harper was messing with your notepad today, and I was so tempted to peek, but I didn't because I'm a good person.
Well,
I'm a good weefe.
I'm proud of you. Because I know you were super curious about the whole thing.
For sure.
Cool.
I'm strong.
So, yes, you are. So, I decided to research the Einstein family.
What?
Yes, that
Okay.
Einstein.
Like Albert, like the Albert.
Yeah, the Albert.
All right, let's
The
hear
OG.
it. Okay.
Cool.
The person
So-
that you're modeling your hair after.
Exactly. And my mustache. I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
All right. So, we all know about Albert Einstein, but how much do we talk about his family?
Not at all.
Not really at all.
When I think about Albert Einstein, I think about those little bobbleheads from Night Museum 2.
Oh, I love those.
The reason that I know part of pi, because they like chanted off 3.14159265. That I don't remember.
You're missing like a million digits, but
I'll work on that.
yeah, work on that. I don't know if it's a million. I don't know how many digits are in pi. I know it's a lot.
I think it's infinite.
You're infinite. Cool. So, I couldn't really find too much on his family beyond his parents, so I don't really know much about his grandparents really besides their names.
And that's the end of our podcast, folks.
So thanks for listening, folks. Just kidding. So we'll start with his parents.
Okay.
Pretty good place to start, right? That's
Sure.
where they started.
Yep.
Cool. So his father, his name was Erman Einstein.
Erman?
Erman, or Herman, is how
Herman?
it's spelled. But I think it's Erman.
Where are they from? Is it like what dialect or language or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Austrian.
So
I don't know. So his father was, what was it called? Jewish. He was Jewish, but I can't remember what it's called. Ashkeni. I don't know. Some kind of Jewish.
So basically, the reason
and
I'm
so
asking is for pronunciation, but
Yeah.
you know me, I don't pronounce anything correctly.
Yeah, I don't think I wrote it down, but it means, like, Einstein means something in
Is Einstein the correct pronunciation?
C.
So we're saying it correctly. Like
Yes.
everyone in history has said it correctly.
I hope so.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So, Erman was born August 30th, 1847 in... I can't read my own handwriting.
Shocker.
Wow. He was born in the
Sorry.
kingdom of Wurten. Did you just break it?
No, but I made a loud noise. Go ahead.
Don't make loud noises. All right. Kingdom of Württemberg. And his father's name was Abraham Einstein. His mother's name was Helene Moss. He had 6 siblings, him being the middle child.
Herman.
Herman was the middle child.
Okay.
So he technically had 2 older brothers and an older sister, and then 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. His oldest brother, though, his name was Raphael. He died at the age of 3, and he died before they had Abraham and Helene had any other children. So
Gotcha. Okay.
none of his siblings knew him, which is sad to think about.
It is sad.
But that's
yes.
okay, because I had 5 more kids after that. Cool. So, yeah, the date range goes from 3rd of December, 1839 to 15th of March, 1855. That's irrelevant, but, 14 years of 6 kids. I thought that was, not 14, 16 years. I can math. Cool. All right, so as a kid, Herman, I'm going to say Herman, he was very academically successful. He had particularly had an affection towards mathematics. Weird, right?
Huh. Would have never guessed.
Right. And so, as a kid, he was wanting to pursue something that, something that math entailed, what was entailed by math. So, something mathematical.
Sure.
But, unfortunately, due to his family's financial status and all that, he was unable to further his education.
Same, though.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm 27, still not done with school. Whatever. It's fine. Anyway, so he instead decided to become a merchant. And then he became an apprentice in a place called Stuttgart. I can't do German, but...
Stuttgart.
Or Stuttgart.
Stuttgart?
Yeah, sure.
I'm American. Don't judge me.
That's okay. He married a lady named Pauline on 8th of August. What's special about that day, Kourtney? 1876.
I'm just kidding.
August 8th, 1876.
My hesitation was a joke, just for the record. I do know when your birthday is.
Is that my birthday?
In 1876.
I didn't know you knew that. Okay. Anyway, so he was just shy of 29 years old by a couple weeks, and Pauline was 18. So
Ew.
it was normal back then.
I know, but it's still gross.
Just hold the ills for a bit.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Cool. So Pauline, she was born to Julius Durzbacher and to Jet Bernheimer, and she was Jewish as well. She had an older sister, 2 older brothers, and they adopted the last name. I want to say like Koch, but it could be Koch. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they adopted that name. Don't know why, but that happened in 1842. Her family grew up pretty modestly, but then further down the line, her father Julius, they were living in a place called Cannstatt, and he and his older brother Heinrich, Julius's older brother Heinrich, they started a corn trade. It's corn.
What do you like about corn?
Let me tell you all about it. And this corn trade made them bank. They were doing pretty well after that. And then they later on, because of all this, mercantile whatever, they became the Royal Württemberg Purveyor of the Court.
Wait, who has the corn trade?
Albert's grandfather on his mother's side.
Oh, so yes. Pauline's dad.
Pauline's dad.
And her uncle. Okay,
Got
I'm
it?
following. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So she goes on to marry Herman. And then after the wedding...
So she did not marry for money.
No.
Because he's poor. But she's also 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not connecting any dots here. I don't know why she did it.
Cool. Anyway, they lived in a place called Ulm.
Ulm?
Ulm. U-L-M.
Ulm?
Ulm.
Cool.
And Herman became...
How many times were you going to say that? Sorry.
And Herman became a joint partner in a bed feathers company. Yeah,
what?
I don't know what that is either. It's just...
Bed feathers.
Bed feathers.
Huh.
I'm guessing it's feathers they put in beds, but what do I know?
I wonder where you got that idea.
So in 1880, Herman's younger brother Jacob had an idea to move to Munich.
Okay.
You know where Munich is?
No.
It's in Germany.
Yes.
And so the two brothers in Munich, they started an electrical engineering company.
Wow, this is just a family of entrepreneurs.
Right, yeah. All right, Herman and Pauline had a daughter. Am I missing something?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, sorry. So 1880, they moved to Munich. Albert was born in 1879.
Okay.
And then...
So he was a little 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm. He was a little one, just over one when they moved to Munich. And then...
Is it bad that I'm picturing a little 1-year-old with gray hair?
With the spike and the mustache.
And a little bobblehead.
No, I think... I mean, when they're babies, they can't really hold their head up. Yeah, so they started an electrical engineering company in Munich in 1880. And then November 1881, they gave birth to little Maria, or Maya is what they called her.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So, Albert's childhood, Albert and Maya's childhood, it's noted that Pauline, their mother, was pretty quiet, but she was well educated, especially having, kind of an inclination for the arts. So, all that stuff like music, especially because she...
Grew up rich.
She grew up rich.
Because of the corn.
Mm-hmm.
It has
corn.
the juice.
Thank you. She was very good at playing the piano, and she, at the age of 5, made Albert... So, Albert was 5, and when she made him take violin lessons.
Ew.
So,
That's
there
cool.
you go. All right.
Do you think he could hold his head up at that point?
At age 5? No. I wasn't there. During Albert's childhood, unsurprisingly, he was very successful academically, especially in math and physics.
Okay.
So it was to the point where he was so smart with mathematics that he taught himself algebra and the Euclidean geometry, which is just geometry, shapes and stuff like that.
Huh.
And then, at the age of 12, he discovered his own original proof of the Pythagorean theorem.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. What were you doing at age 12?
Not that.
Me neither. So, his family had a tutor. His name was Max Talmud. And he gave Albert a geometry textbook. And he said, it doesn't say specifically how long. He just says, in a short time, Albert had completed the whole book. A whole textbook. I don't know how thick it was, but he completed a whole textbook in a short amount of time. What were you doing at age 12?
Honestly, though, I mean, good for him, but that also just kind of sounds like torture.
Yeah, kind of, but, Albert enjoyed it. He loved math.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I hate it, so this would be my eternal hell.
All right. Anyway, so he goes on, praises Albert's mathematical genius and saying that he, the tutor, Max, he himself could not keep up with Albert.
Wow.
So I'm not sure how old Max was at the time, but Albert was just 12.
Right.
And if this guy is a tutor, he's obviously, got some kind of
upper hand.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
You'd think so. Albert started teaching himself calculus, also at the age of 12.
I can barely teach myself cross stitch. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, granted,
right.
I'm doing it while I'm watching Netflix. I'm a little distracted. Like, cut me some slack.
Right. I mean, I wasn't doing much at age 12 either, even now.
I know.
But anyway. So yeah, he goes on, age 12, he teaches himself calculus, and then in just 2 years, he stated himself that he had mastered integral and differential calculus.
Wait, so like he was self-proclaimed mastered?
No, he actually was,
Oh.
but like he did say that of himself.
Oh, okay.
Like
I was
by age
gonna
14,
say that's pretty
arrogant.
confident.
No, he did say it himself, but like, he had the knowledge to back up what he was saying,
Sure.
basically. So he
Okay.
had mastered differential and integral calculus by age 14.
Okay.
At age 13, he had become fascinated by philosophy and music. And he was introduced to Kant's Critique of Pure Reason. And then Kant went on to become his favorite philosopher. Not much else is said about that, but
Okay.
why not? Philosophy's cool.
When we all have our favorites, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. So yeah, while living in Munich, Albert attended a Catholic elementary school. So he started that at age 5. He was there for 3 years, and then he transferred to a Luitpold gymnasium, which is now known as Albert Einstein Gymnasium.
Oh.
Gymnasium has a different meaning in Europe, where it's not like a
Like a basketball court is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's an actual school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this gymnasium, he received advanced primary and secondary school education for 7 years.
Okay.
Okay, so after the 7 years, the Einstein family moved to Italy.
Ooh.
So they first moved to Milan, and the reason that they moved was because that Jacob and Herman's electrical company, they lost a bid to be Munich's primary supplier of electrical lighting.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they were. I don't know the whole details, but they were missing some components and everything, and then they lost out to someone else.
Okay.
So they decided to move to Italy because why not?
Yeah.
What else would you do?
For sure.
And then in the same year, they moved to a place called Pavia.
Okay. That's in Italy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they moved to Pavia, Italy. Herman, Pauline, and Maria, they moved, and then Albert stayed. He went back to Munich. I'll get to that in a bit. Actually, let's talk about it now.
So they moved to Italy, then they moved back to Munich?
No, just Albert. So they moved to Italy, they moved to Milan, then
Okay.
to Pavia, but then instead of Albert moving to Pavia with them, he moved back to Munich to continue his education.
Okay, I see.
So back to the same gymnasium. And so Herman, his ideal plan for Albert was for Albert to study electrical engineering, so following his footsteps basically.
For sure.
But Albert had a little bit of an authority complex, meaning that the school that he went to had ideals that he didn't agree with. For example, what he said was that their teaching methods and their regimen disagreed with or they didn't encourage a spirit of learning or creativity or anything like that. They stuck to like a strict rote of learning. Strict rote learning. Yeah. So basically by the book, not allowing anything outside the book.
Okay. And he wasn't for that.
And he wasn't for that. He was all about let's open our minds a little bit more to more than what you're just teaching us.
Sure.
So 1894 was pretty busy for the Einstein family. At the end of December, he convinced the school to let him go by using a doctor's note, and then he traveled back to Italy to be with his family a little bit more.
Okay.
So sadly, during this time as well, Herman and Jacob's business, their electrical engineering business, started to decline and eventually fail.
Bummer.
So
should have gone with corn.
So they had to abandon their factory, and then after losing most of Herman's money, even after losing it, he decided that he wanted to start a new factory. So they started a new a new electrical engineering company in Milan, and it was this time it was better. This time it was better, but again, a lot of back and forth, emotional roller coaster. Herman's health started to fail as well, and he eventually died from heart failure in 1902. All right, in 1895, so Albert was 16 at this time. Albert took the entrance exam for the Swiss Polytechnic School in Zurich. Much to our surprise, Albert didn't really pass this test.
I mean, he was only 16.
He was only 16, sure. But, he's a genius. But it says that he didn't reach the required standard in the general part of the exam, but got exceptional grades in...
Was the general part age?
Sure.
Just kidding.
No, he got exceptional grades in...
Math?
Physics? Yep, both of those things. And so...
Yay, gold star.
But since he failed, the principal, who was super impressed by his other grades, his mathematical and
physics.
Yeah, that genius that he has for those two things, he pointed him in the direction of an Algorian cantonal school in Arna, Switzerland. So he attended there in 1895 and 1896, and then while he was living there, he was living there in the household of Jost Winterler. Jost had a daughter, and Einstein was kind of like, fancy for her. Yeah.
Got some googly eyes.
Mm-hmm. Right. And she'll...
Bobblehead and googly eyes.
Yeah. And this daughter's... Yeah.
Sorry.
Bobblehead.
I'm tired.
All right. So this daughter's name is Marie. And also, fun fact, kind of little side note, is Albert's sister, Maya, married the brother Paul. So Marie, Just's son, Paul.
So they're just keeping it in the family.
Keep it in the family. You have no idea. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Did you just shush me?
I did. So while he was living here, Albert renounced with the approval of his father, he renounced his German citizenship to stay out of military stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, out of the military service. And then September 1896, he passed the Swiss Matura, which is translates to maturity diploma.
Okay.
Which is it's an exit exam for secondary school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like a GED.
Kind of yeah. But it's... Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. At age 17, he enrolled himself in a 4-year teaching diploma for mathematics and physics. Big surprise there. And so this was at the Federal Polytechnic School. And then Marie, the one he was in love with, she moved to Augsburg. She left for a teaching post in Augsburg. Yeah, pretty sad that they were apart, but not for long, because Albert, in the same class that he was in, met another girl.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, were they like an item, or were
No.
they just... Oh, okay.
Well, no.
Like officially.
We'll get to it.
Okay, so he meets another girl.
Yeah, so he meets another girl at the same school, and this was his first-to-be wife.
First-to-be
wife, Milena Marik from Serbia. Mileva. I can't read my handwriting.
Mileva.
All right, and she was the only woman of in this class. There were only 6 of them, but she was the only woman.
So he met a woman.
He met a woman. He met the woman. The one and only. So they were friends. That friendship moved to romance. And then that involved
Albert.
them. I know. Such a romantic guy.
Was he still a teenager at this point?
Yeah. Yeah. So they were basically almost constantly with each other. They would, do debates together. They would study together. They would write each other notes.
Oh, so cute.
And in one of the notes, Albert said to her, I much prefer studying with you. Oh, super cute.
Super
cute. And then, 1900, Albert passed his exams and was awarded his federal teaching diploma.
Okay.
So he could now teach mathematics and physics.
Oh,
Every little boy's dream. JK.
Yep. Not
Cool.
mine. I'm not a little boy, though, so it's fine.
So this girl, who is referred to as Marique now, I
Marique?
guess, yeah, goes by her last name. Marique and Albert had a daughter in 1902. Not much is said about her. Kind of a sad story.
Does she die?
Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So Marique moved back to Switzerland without the child. Not clear what happened, but there was a letter that was released that Albert had written that suggests either she was adopted or she died from scarlet fever in infancy. So, pretty sad.
Let's go with the adoption story, because then at least
she was definitely adopted.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So Albert and Marique wedded in January 1903.
Wedded?
They wedded. They were to be wed.
I think it's just wed.
They wed?
Yeah. Isn't it?
They wedded.
They wedded.
I like it. They got married in January 1903. And then in May 1904, they had a son named Hans Albert Einstein.
Hans.
And then another son 6 years later in July 1910.
Does that one have a name?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. I didn't write it down.
Only Hans. We only care about Hans.
We only care about Hans. All right. So they got married. Then they moved to Berlin in April 1914.
Okay.
But it's a big but. Marique had learned of Albert's attraction to his. Oh, I didn't talk about her. Let's talk about her real quick.
What the?
Did I write it down? Oh, here we go. It's on my second page. So this is a year after Herman died. Pauline, Albert's mother, moved to live with her sister Fanny and her husband Rudolf Einstein. So first cousin to Herman.
Okay.
So they're keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family.
Fanny had a daughter, Elsa. Yeah, we'll talk about her in a bit. So in 1910, Fanny, Pauline,
when you first said Hans, I was gonna make an Elsa joke, but now she's entered the story.
Yep. Where do you think they got the inspiration for that movie?
Albert Einstein.
I don't know.
Just kidding.
I don't know. So Albert and Marique had another son in July 1910. So that's where we're at, 1910. Fanny, Pauline, and company. So Pauline and her family.
Okay.
Moved to Berlin, where Pauline took a job as a housekeeper. Then 1911, she lived with her brother Jacob in Zurich, and then again she moved back to her sister. Oh, her sister was with her. So the whole family was together.
Okay.
So they moved to Zurich and then back to Heilbronn, where they were originally in 1913. Marique, going back to Albert's wife, Marique had learned about a little romance that Albert had with Elsa, who was both his first cousin and his second cousin. First cousin maternally, second cousin paternally.
Okay.
So
interessante.
So that was 1914. They divorced early in 1919, but I think it was 1918. Pauline, she got sick with cancer. So while she was living in Heilbronn, she got admitted to a sanatorium. Yeah. So for his illness and everything.
Sure.
But then, so she's sick, and then towards the end of 1919, first of all, Albert and Marique got divorced after being separated for 5 years.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Right.
If you were in love with your cousin, I would have some questions.
Same. Albert decided to take Pauline in at the end of 1919, and that is when his mother died.
Okay.
Yep.
Sad.
Yeah. So as part of the divorce settlement as well that Marique and Albert had was that if Albert was to win any Nobel Prize money, it would all go to her. So good for her, honestly. Because, I mean, as we know, he did win Nobel Prizes.
Okay, but the fact that that was put as their settlement, like, I already know that you're a genius, so inevitably when this happens, I want all the proceeds from it.
Right. So...
Yeah, definitely smart on her end.
Yeah, but get this also. So there were letters that were revealed in 2015 that show that Albert was also writing letters to Marie Winterler, the one that he was living with in Switzerland.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
Okay.
And he was writing her letters about
this guy just
updates of his life and everything.
I never would have thought that Albert Einstein was such a little
Floosy?
flirt.
Oh, yeah. We'll go with flirt.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Okay. While Marique was pregnant with their second child, and this is an excerpt from his letter. Yeah, to the second one. Hans was the
second boy. Well, they had a daughter.
They did have a daughter. That was definitely adopted.
Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
You're okay. So this is an excerpt from his letter. It says, quote, I think of you in heartfelt love every spare minute and am so unhappy as only a man can be. Unquote.
Albert!
He then spoke about misguided love and a missed life regarding his love for Marie. Like, you should have settled down when you had the chance, dude. Yeah, I know. So
I'm offended for Marique. That's what I said.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
So, after their divorce, Albert had a pretty quick turnaround and married Elsa.
Okay. His cousin.
And then it says also, after having had a relationship with her since 1912. So kind of like a little side piece, I guess. Yeah. And then they immigrated to the United States in 1933. And then Elsa, while they were there, shortly after, a couple years after, she was diagnosed with heart and kidney problems and died in December 1936.
Huh.
Yeah.
Was he still writing to his other lady?
But wait, there's more.
Jeez.
So 1923.
Wait.
Yep.
When did she die, Elsa?
1936.
Okay, so 13 years before that.
So 13 years before that, Einstein, Albert, fell in love with a secretary named Betty Newman.
That sounds like an American name.
Mm-hmm.
Betty.
Yeah. Yeah. She was the niece of a close friend. Friend's name was Hans Musam.
That's not an American name.
That's not an American name. I didn't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm definitely probably not.
Got another Hans in the picture.
Yep. Dang it, Hans. So yeah, more letters released in 2006 describe Einstein. Well, Einstein describes 6 different women.
6?
6 different women.
Not including the ones that he's already been with? Not including Marique?
I think...
And Elsa?
No, I think those are part of them.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe not. But anyway, so these ladies, I won't go into names or anything. Just know that there were 6 other women with whom he spent time with, from whom he received gifts while being married to Elsa.
You won't go into names. That's
I won't go
funny.
into names, just because it's pointless. They don't come really up anymore.
Okay.
Actually, one was a Russian spy.
Really?
Yeah, I guess she's kind of fun.
like legitimately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't go into names. Oh, because one was a Russian spy.
Yeah. The second son name was Edward.
Ah, Hans and Edward.
Hans and Edward. Not
Edward.
Christoph.
Nobody cares about Edward.
You do.
Team Jacob all the way. I mean, Team Hans. Just
Team
kidding.
Hans. You're into redheads, huh?
What?
You're into redheads.
What does that have to do?
Hans from Frozen is a redhead.
Ah.
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
I was picturing Jacob from Twilight with red hair. I was like, I don't get it.
Okay.
It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, it is. It's almost my bedtime. But yeah, we know kind of the rest of Albert's life, E equals MC squared, theory of relativity, all that fun stuff.
3.1415. Sorry.
You have to do it in the bobblehead voice.
3.1415 at 94657654321.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Tried real hard.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, but that's really all I got to. Just like the juicy stuff behind
Wow.
Albert's love life.
I seriously. Okay, so first of all.
Yeah.
Was that the end of your story?
Yes. That's
Okay.
all. That's all the notes I have.
His poor dad couldn't catch a break.
Poor dad couldn't catch a break.
His mom was the daughter of a rich corn farmer.
Yep.
Person.
Purveyor of the court.
Einstein was a child genius.
Mm-hmm.
And a floozy. Is that what you called him? Got all the ladies.
All the ladies. Do you think they know about each other?
I mean, probably now.
Do you think they had brunch?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? 6 ladies being like, oh my gosh, Albert.
At least 6. There's probably more that we don't know about.
And they all like overlap.
Mm-hmm.
Albert, what are you doing, man?
Well, most geniuses are kind of perverted.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
And where do you get that information?
The internet. How I Met Your Mother.
Relevant sources.
Like Thomas Edison. Why do you think light bulbs are boob-shaped?
Oh my gosh. Nuh-uh.
That's a helium quote.
Oh my gosh. Okay, of course it is.
Of course it is.
Wow, what a story.
Mm-hmm.
I literally knew none of that.
But like Ben Franklin as well was kind of a sleazebag.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that. I did not know. Literally all I think about with Einstein is just like his theories that he came up with, his mathematical theories. I knew nothing about his personal life.
Right.
I also, didn't know that he lived in Germany, but it makes sense. Also, I think for the next few episodes, let's not pick German-oriented families because we can't pronounce them.
Okay.
So,
I mean, we probably could look up how to pronounce German stuff. But
yeah.
who has that time?
Oh, man.
Anyway. But yeah, the Einstein family.
Wow.
Fun people.
Albert.
From what I found, I think his, at least from what we know, his family goes back, I think, 7 generations, I want to say.
Okay.
But I didn't get all that information because there wasn't really anything notable about them besides their names.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty jazzed about the corn farming, but that was
right.
only...
I mean, that's the highlight of the whole story.
Wow. What would it have been like to been one of those ladies that received letters from Albert Einstein that weren't mathematical equations?
Well, did I ever tell you? I probably didn't. There was one time I was walking to school. This was back in Australia. I was walking to school, and this guy passed in a car who resembled Albert Einstein like to a T.
Really?
I got a pretty good glimpse of him. It was quick, but like it was a pretty good glimpse of him. He had the hair, he had the mustache, he had the gray in his hair. I'm like looking at him like maybe time travel is a thing. Like to this day, because I think my brother was walking with me as well, but I don't think he saw him. But like I don't know. I could have sworn. If I didn't know any better, I would say that is Albert Einstein. But like maybe I don't know better. Maybe that is. That was him.
I saw him in a wax museum.
Oh.
It wasn't actually him though. It was just wax.
Oh.
It was the one in San Francisco.
Oh, cool. When did you go to San Francisco?
2015.
Without me?
I didn't know you. I mean, I did know you, but I didn't. I wasn't a part of your life in 2015.
Whatever.
Yeah, I went with Alyssa and my grandparents, and
we should go. You want to go to San Francisco?
Yeah,
to
that'd be fun.
the Bay? Is that what they call it?
Sure.
I don't know.
We also that was when we
California.
went to Alcatraz.
I want to go to Alcatraz so bad.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Anywho, I am tired.
Cool. All right.
So.
Well, hey, thanks for listening, everyone.
You're really close to the microphone right now, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to episode 2, Einstein.
The Einstein family.
And good night.